What up, you guys? Welcome back. Here we go. We got another one. Feels like it's been a minute since you guys see my face, so I just wanted to give you guys that pleasure. All right. I just want to put you guys on some more game. All right, some more, something to think about. Something to think about, and hopefully it's something that you realize, right? And this one right here is for my people. Let me bring that up. Bam. This one right here is for my addicts, for my alcoholics. And not only for the addicts and alcoholics. I guess it's for everybody, because in recovery, in the rooms of AA and NA, we have certain tools that are life-changing, basically. Life-changing, man. You know? You guys know I don't like pushing AA or NA. Cause myself, I don't like when people push certain things on me. I'm not gonna say agendas. I'm just saying certain programs or religion or politics, stuff like that, right? It kind of feels like someone's trying to sell you something, right? But I like grasping things that work for me. As I mentioned before, certain podcasts. I always take the gems, right? I always take the gems. And right now, before I turned on the phone, I was listening to a talk. It was a TED Talk. I'll link it in the description or comments below. The topic of discussion: great leaders do what addicts do. Great leaders do what addicts do. So, the guy was talking about his experience and how he uses his addiction as his main freaking strength. It's basically a superpower, right? We are basically, addicts in recovery are basically, and alcoholics, people who have seen the dark side are basically superpowers. I am my own superhero, right? I am my own superhero because I was able to bust through that brick wall of addiction successfully. We have to use our addiction, our alcoholism, our problems, basically, as a superpower, as a strength. You have to find it in you to realize that doesn't matter how long you were locked up, doesn't matter how long you were a slave to the drug, to the drink, doesn't matter how long, man. You got to use that. We have to use that as fuel. So one of the gems, one of the quotes that I appreciated from this talk, this guy said, the worst thing about you can become the best thing about you. That resonated with me. The worst thing about you can become the best thing about you. What does that mean to you? Right. I mean, just because we were addicted for so long, just because we were enslaved in our mind, right? Just because our main focus was waking up dope sick, in withdrawal, just because all of that happened doesn't mean we're screwed, right? A lot of that shame and guilt used to eat me up, man. Used to eat me up. But thankfully, there's tools out there that helped pull me out of that mental funk. You know, addicts in recovery, we have certain tools, we have certain life skills that I don't think anybody else does. We have principles, right? Principles. And I before these principles were refreshed, because I haven't heard these in so long, but one of the main things that stood out to me is that I'm applying these principles to my life right now. I'm not saying that to puff out my chest and say, go me. No. I was just proud of myself that I am making the right decisions. I'm doing the right thing. So, like I said, we have certain tools. We have life skills that we could go to, that we should be going to, that we should be applying to our lives. The first one is to be authentic. Be authentic to yourself. Basically meaning, be true to yourself, man. Realize the situation you're in. Acknowledge the fact. You know, like basically submit to your reality. And that's the second principle is surrender the outcome, you know? Surrender the outcome. Like, just realize that you're in this situation, right? Don't stay there. Whenever you're faced with a problem, man, like, be authentic to yourself. Like, yeah, this is what's going on. Surrender to the outcome. Like, I accept it. Like, this is what's going on. This is the problem. Think about it, you know? Think ahead. Play the tape through, all that good stuff, right? And then in order to get out of that situation or a mental funk, you have to do the uncomfortable work, like no matter what. It's amazing, man. Like everything this guy was talking about was a gem. Like, it's rare that I am thoroughly blown away by what I'm hearing, you know, in a video, in a conversation, in a talk. But this guy, basically, he was a slave. You know, he was a slave to his addiction. And he pulled that out by applying those principles to his life. Be authentic to yourself. Surrender the outcome. And do the uncomfortable work no matter what. You're not screwed, man. You're not screwed. We all have tough days, right? We all have tough days. I have tough days. I've been having some tough days. But I'm doing something about it, you know? That doesn't mean strictly going to meetings, you know? I went to meetings every day, sometimes twice a day. My first couple years in recovery. But, you know, as time went on, you know, I've mentioned before, the methadone corrected, you know, the immediate problem. I was having trouble just waking up. I was having trouble just waking up and not doing what it takes to get high, you know? And that just damn near destroyed my life. But man, I am super thankful for everything I went through. There's no sense dwelling on the past, man. No sense dwelling on the past. We're not going back. We're not going back there. We can't go back and change the past. So there's no sense on laying down and beating ourselves up. What is that going to do? If you do go that route, just remember the principles, man. Be authentic to yourself, surrender the outcome, and do what it takes to get out of that situation. Life's going to suck sometimes. Life does suck sometimes. But if you're free, if you're out here right now, it's up to you what you're gonna do, from here on out. So, the worst thing about you can become the best thing about you. That's a gem right there, man. That is damn near tattoo worthy. I'm sure somebody out there has that tattooed on them. Whatever it takes to remember that, right? Whatever it takes to remember the dark side. Whatever it takes to help you keep pushing forward. All I know is I don't have to do drugs today. I don't have to drink. Just remember, the worst thing about you can become the best thing about you. Thanks for listening.